Yo, what's going on? It's Lolo's Loot. I'm finally back in the XDefiant grind as I was playing Shadows of the Erdtree for the last little bit. But nonetheless, we're back. It's a perfect time to jump back in as the new XD brief has dropped. So there isn't a crazy amount of changes, but I've been inactive for a bit, so I've got some work to do on some weapons. Before I was using the AK-47 and the MP7 a lot, but right now I'm leveling up the new assault rifle, the lvoa-c. lvoa-c. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just going to call it the Lova. And I'm working towards completing my shotgun, which could be easier or harder depending on the new changes. With that said, let's see if this patch is going to make my life easier or harder. Let's break down the patch notes together. So jumping over into the gameplay side of things, it says here, XP boosters will no longer count down when you're killing time in the practice zone. I didn't know that they worked like that, but I'm glad they changed it, because that's not fair. Increase vertical ADS sensitivity for controllers so that aiming up and down is more consistent with aiming left and right. I don't play on controller, but this could be a good setting, although I remember when I did play on controller in Fortnite, I always had a lower vertical sensitivity than my horizontal. Now into the game modes. Tweak the ranked mode pre-game. Ranked matches won't start with less than 8 players. The leave button has been nixed from the map voting screen to discourage players from dropping out. And ranked matches will cancel if players manage to skedaddle during map voting. Yo, that's crazy. They use skedaddle in their patch notes. So I think essentially this will check for players before games in the map voting screen, in the loadout screen, and in the faction screen. And if there's not 8 players, the match won't begin and you'll be booted back and you won't lose any sanction or RP. But for anyone who does leave, they will still be penalized, which is good, but it's something that should have been implemented already. I could see that being frustrating for people that play ranked, and capture the flag is now available in ranked play. Also, one more change they did with ranked is they added a maximum ping to the ranked matches. I think it's at 120, but if I'm wrong, it's 125. But I'm pretty sure it's 120. So there's just 2 changes within the factions, and that is Echelon's intel suit now only reveals enemies through the walls for the player wearing it. Allies will still see the enemy locations on the minimap though. And DeadSec spider bots were shocking target players before leaping on their faces, which wasn't winning them fans. Now they only zap targets at the face hugging stage of the relationship. I have no clue what that means. But I guess they were zapping players before leaping on their face, so they weren't working correctly. But now they're supposed to be working as intended. Now into the weapons, and there's quite a few changes here. The rapid fire barrel and muzzle booster attachments were causing less recoil on some weapons, such as the ACR and the AK, when they were supposed to cause more recoil. That's fixed. Reduced the MP7's magazine capacity from 35 to 30, and its rate of fire from 875 to 850 rounds per minute. Updated the old iron sights that were appearing on certain Lova cosmetic skins. Now there's a bunch of shotgun buffs, so let's get into those. Now for the M870, its short and medium range has both been increased. The sprint out time has been increased from 250 milliseconds to 200. The hip, aim, crouch, hip fire, and crouch aim spread have all been reduced, and crouch slide in air and mantle hip fire spread reduced by 40%. The crouch slide in air and mantle aim spread range has also been reduced. The AA-12 saw very similar changes, but its short range has been increased from 7 meters to 10 meters, and its medium range has been increased from 10 meters to 13 meters, whereas the M870, its short range is 10 meters to 13 meters now, and its medium range is 15 meters to 18 meters. Other than that, they're all very similar changes, reducing the spread on most of your actions like sprinting, hip fire, aiming, crouching. The double barrel saw a short range increase from 12 meters to 15 meters and a medium range increase from 16 meters to 19 meters. I really enjoy the double barrel, so I'll definitely be making use out of that one. The crouch slide, in air, and mantle spread reduced by 40%, so again, that's good. And the sawed off shotgun is the only shotgun I haven't used yet, but it has its reserve ammo increased from 6 to 10. Its sprint to shoot time reduced from 250 to 150 milliseconds, and your crouching, sliding around, in air, mantling, all that spread's going to be reduced by 40%. Also, the pistol grip and the PEQ-15 laser attachments for shotguns also had their spread min-max bonus reduced from 20 to 15%. And finally, all shotguns reticle blooms, visualized by the vertical and horizontal hash marks of the HUD reticle, are now enlarged slightly while leaping. So the MP7 did receive a pretty big nerf. That has been the go-to SMG, it seems, at least in the lobbies that I'm in. And I'm sure most of you would agree. I'm gonna have to do some testing with the attachments to work as they're supposed to now. But other than that, these changes could shake up the meta a little bit. The shotguns might be a bit too strong. Maybe they'll have to get toned down. I'm gonna have to jump into game and check it all out myself. So there's just one change in the devices, but sticky grenades now stay put rather than disappearing if the deployer player kicks the bucket. So I'd assume your grenades were disappearing if you would die, but now they don't do that. Now this has got to be one of my favorite changes in the patch, even though it's something very minor, but the cursor no longer shifts in the main display when playing on a second monitor in full screen mode with the lock mouse to game window option turned on. I have had countless times where I'm finishing up a match, I'm doing a quick turn, and the match ends. My cursor then goes flying off of the screen onto my second monitor, and over time that just got annoying, so I'm glad they fixed that. Also, fixed an issue preventing players' kill and death ratios from updating properly after completing matches. I don't think I ever encountered this issue, but I definitely do know some people who I play the game with who have had this issue. So later to come in Season 1, in Ranked, the faction skill restriction is going to be implemented. So that means if someone's playing Cleaner and they're using Firebomb, you can't use that same class. Or sorry, you can't use that same ability. But you can use it if they switch off of it. There's going to be additional penalties for people who are quitting ranked matches, and they're also going to be adjusting the RP gains you get from matches. Also coming on August 2nd is the new map inspired by The Crew, Daytona. I'll be sure to check that map out when it drops. And some things that are coming up in Season 2, and that is the top 500 leaderboard, and that will last throughout the season, and that will show off your stat, your score, your kill death ratio, and it'll also show off the amount of RP you have gained that season. Also to come to Ranked in Season 2 is ranked loadouts. So you'll have every attachment unlocked, but if you don't have the gun unlocked prior, you won't receive levels for it. They also talked about possible restrictions, such as maybe certain attachments won't be available or certain guns won't be available. They also talked about the rejoin feature for ranked, which I think that's crucial. Again, I don't play ranked, but you kind of need to have that feature. And in Season 2 for ranked, there'll be progressive RP penalties for quitters. So the more and more you quit, the more RP you're going to lose. And these were just some community questions that they were answering, but I thought they were pretty important. Plans to add attachments. And they said yes, every season expect new weapons, attachments, factions, and more. Ability to change HUD, and they said we're looking into ways. I thought it was kind of funny, just because it's a pretty big number, but I guess there is a lot of cheaters, but they have said they banned over 12,000 players. Now, I don't know if that's the same person getting banned more than once. It's still quite a bit for a game, but not too old. Will there be a 24/7 playlist for new maps? Yes. And they said starting August 2nd for the new Daytona map that this will be implemented. And a couple more things that not too sure when they're going to show up, but they're being worked on, is a prestige mode, a weapon mastery system upgrade, keyboard and mouse on console, private matches, and kill cams. I think kill cams will be hilarious. Just the amount of funny things I do before I die or get a kill. I think it'll be funny to see it on a kill cam. All right. That is a wrap on the new XDebrief. Whether you're loving the new meta or struggling to adapt, let me know your thoughts in the comments below or what you're excited for that's coming up. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more XDefiant content. I'll see you gamers in the next one. Peace.